guys, welcome back to my video. I know a lot of you been asking me for my setup. The other thing I want to talk about is that we are right now in 2020, as you guys know. Hasn't been the greatest year, but we are in 2020. In 2022, things are bound to change. Most likely my setup is going to change, and that is not to say I'm getting a new bird, but like you get the idea. Like, you know, as years go on and you get better at stuff, things change. But at the moment, this is what I'm doing at 2020. This is my setup. This is what I'm happy with, what I'm content with. Can it get better? It definitely can, but this is what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna get quickly into it and show you guys what I use. So yes, this is my setup. Literally, I will feed my bird, do everything over here. Cookie will be having all her stuff done over here. So the first thing I want to show you guys is I use paper towel. Is it necessary? No, but my tile, would you call it a tile? It's a bit slippery and my baby is a bit slippery on it, so I like using this. Also, when formula and stuff spills, it just keeps everything very neat and very clean. And then on my top section, I have paper towels here and tissue papers here. I do use both of them. So yes, so I obviously use a scale. Any scale works as long as it has grams in it. Some people use bowls to measure their birds, but my bird is pretty still. I don't need to use a bowl and stuff. I just literally just put my bird over here. It's a bit cold, but she's perfectly, or he's perfectly fine. And then I get a weight. Now it's very important that you know the weight of your bird, because then you could easily tell if you're doing something wrong or if something is wrong. It might not have something to do with you, but if something is wrong, at least you could get the help you need. So it's very important that you weigh them. I weigh them 3 times within the day. The morning, the afternoonish, around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then again at midnight. So I kind of have an idea, and I put them all in my notebook, which I probably should have brought my notebook here, but then it gives me an idea on how she's doing. And so far she's been gaining weight. I say she, but you get the point. We don't know the gender yet, but she's been doing perfectly fine. So yes, this is very important. You need a scale. We don't want to be randomly feeding our birds X amount of formula. That's gonna cause sauerkraut. The other thing you obviously need is formula. I use the exact formula. There are many other formulas you could use. I know there's, I think, Tropican, there's Rowdy Bush formula, there's also Harrison's. Those are the ones I'm familiar with, but just any good formula. I mean, this is a decent brand, so I use that. It's very, you know, it's readily available in my area, and I don't have a lot of stuff in my area that's readily available, and online services right now are not trustable. So I use the exact formula. I've used it in the past. I haven't had any issues with it. So let me show you guys what the exact formula looks like inside. So this is what the formula looks like inside. I pretty much have this scoop that comes with it. Sometimes they could be really deep down, so you kind of have to find it, which is kind of annoying because you really don't want to have your hands in there. So obviously wash your hands, guys. But you'll have one of this. And again, the information I'm going to give right now, please be aware it is information I'm getting based on the exact formula. The ratio is 1:1. So what that means is that if you're going to use this much formula, you're gonna use this much water. Now from my experience, and it also mentions on the exact formula, is that if it's very thick, if it's not runny at all, you could add more hot water onto it. Again, we have measuring tools for that, and I'm gonna show you, but I find that I don't really do 1:1 ratio. I do a bit more water content, because I find that if I do 1:1 ratio, the consistency of the formula gets a bit it's not as runny, so I prefer it a bit more on the runny side. Again, will I show you guys what my consistency on my formula looks? Fair enough, I could show you guys that. It's not that big of a deal. Something slightly runny, something slightly thick in consistency isn't going to cause a massive problem, but something very runny and something very thick in consistency might be a bit of an issue. So this is what my setup looks like, and I know people are going to be asking, hey, why do you have 2 bowls? So here's what I do. I get my desired amount, and yes, I waste a lot of formula, and no, I do not heat it up because that's very dangerous, but this is what I do. I put some of the formula of my desired amount. I kind of have a rough estimate of how much formula I used here, but I do not put the water in here, the hot boiling water. The reason is because it's very hard to measure the Fahrenheit. So I actually put boiling water in this, and then I measure it using my thermometer, and it should be according to my exact formula, 120 Fahrenheit. Yes, so 120 Fahrenheit should be the water. I put the water, so I don't have water here, guys, sorry about that. I scoop out the hot water once it's at the desired temperature. I put it in, and then I use a plastic spoon. Now, you don't have to use plastic, but I don't trust a lot of the metals I have at my home. Just for obvious reasons. They're old, I don't trust them. I don't even know if they're stainless steel, and plastic is safe, so I do use plastic. And then I pretty much throw this away, so it's kind of single use, which I feel bad about, but you know what, I'm being 100% honest. I do not reuse the spoons, and I'll get more about the syringe, but I do not reuse the spoons. And then once the hot water is in there, I mix it. So let's say it's a 1:1 ratio. I mix it, I look at the consistency, and most of the time it's very thick. In my opinion, a 1:1 ratio, it gives me a thicker consistency, and I don't like that. It's also hard to pretty much put it in the syringe, so I put more water, and I pretty much look at the consistency. So it's very hard because everyone kind of has their desired consistency. I'll show you guys what mine kind of looks like, but yeah. I'll show you guys that at the end. So yes, you do need some kind of spoon. The metal spoons you guys have, if you guys trust it, fair enough, but I don't. You could even go to dollar store and get, you know, those picnic supplies, a bunch of plastic spoons, which is bad, I know, for the environment, but you know, you do what you gotta do anyway. And then I use a thermometer. Now there's different kinds of thermometers you could use, but this is the kind I use. I think I got it from Walmart. Yeah, I think I'm 100% sure I got it from Walmart. I think it was like $9-10 bucks, something like that. So I use that. It's very important. When the formula is done, it should cool down for 1 minute, and then you measure it. Exact formula says that they suggest 105 Fahrenheit, because you don't want to burn the bird's crop. I typically stand between 104 and 106 Fahrenheit. That is the temperature that my birds and many birds prefer, because you don't want to burn their crop. You don't want 120 Fahrenheit water, put it right in there, mix it, and then immediately feed it. You're gonna burn your bird, and that is very, very painful. So, like I said, 120 for the water, and then you put it in here. You wait for it to cool down. This might take anywhere from 1 minute to like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. It really depends. And then I'm checking the temperature every 30 seconds. So this is the syringe I'm using for the past 2 days. I mean, obviously this is a new pack. And then this was the one I used to use. Now you could clearly tell why I'm not using it anymore. Because after 1 day of use, okay, I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, but you can't see the numbers on it. Now that's not very good. For many reasons, because you don't want to be giving the wrong amount of food. It's a good syringe otherwise, but then the numbers here, they just disappear. And yes, I change my syringes every day. So I'll use this for the whole day, and then after the day is done, I throw it out. I don't like using syringes for longer times. And like I said, this, even though I would use it for 1 day, the numbers would be gone. This is from Walmart, and it's like, I think $6 or something. I got a whole pack from Amazon for a lot cheaper, and I think it was a couple bucks more, but like I think this was a pack of 10, and I have like 4 packs of those. So yes, by the way, I'm not gentle with my supplies, but you know what, it's not that big of a deal. So this is what I use. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's I feel like these are better. So this is what I'm going to suggest. I'll have a link down below for you guys. I don't know if anyone would want it, but like, this is what I use. So yeah. So this is about it. This is just about the supplies I use. I don't use anything else. And again, I mentioned the towels and stuff, paper towels and paper tissue. So this is the stuff I use, and obviously those. I again have formula in here. I'm going to show you guys the consistency I use. I'm not going to show me measuring it, because I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory because I go by Fahrenheit. Now I know in Canada a lot of people go by Celsius, but with the food measurements I go by Fahrenheit. And yeah, I just use a regular food scale. There's different kind of temperature measuring stuff. This is what I use. It's quite accurate, because they actually use this for meat, so I find that it's quite accurate. So yes, let me show you guys what the consistency looks like, what my preferred consistency is. I'm not going to show you guys me feeding my bird. that's just too much filming on my part, and it's quite difficult, and I don't want a screaming bird, and you guys have to watch that. I would have a video of that, by the way. And then I'll show you guys what the bin looks like I said. I know some people are curious, and I'll talk a little bit about that, but let me show you guys what the consistency looks like. So I mixed the hot water and the formula together, and this is the consistency I am getting. You can see it's not very runny, but it's not very thick. It's just okay. It's kind of like ketchup consistency, if that makes any sense. And this is the consistency that I prefer at this stage. Now when they are getting a bit more older, I do make it a bit more thick, but right now this is the consistency I use with my baby. I'm actually gonna wait for it to cool down. Throw this in the garbage, I don't need it anymore. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down, and once I get the right temperature, I'm gonna feed my bird, and then I'll show you guys my bin setup. So this is what my bin looks like. I'm gonna make it short because this little one is very loud. Cookie is not having it. Yeah. Cookie did get fed, by the way. I fed her completely full, and yeah, she's probably just having her moments. I like putting these towels at the side and inside the bin. Now this is 3 layers. I just like that fact that it's very comfortable for my bird. No, the foot doesn't get caught, at least with the fabric I am using. I put these little same towels on the sides because Cookie really likes sleeping on the sides. I don't know why, but I like putting it there, and Cookie really likes sleeping on the sides. If you have a smaller bird or a smaller cockatiel in weeks, you want to put them into something even smaller. So I have this big one right now, but I also have it on a heat pad. If you don't have a heat pad or like a heat blanket, whatever it may be, I prefer something smaller, simply because it's gonna keep your bird a lot more warm. Yes, Cookie, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to take care of you. But yes, this is what my bin looks like. Today, I actually want to start the weaning process. Now, they're not nearly close to weaning, but the weaning process is it's just a process. It could take weeks, by the way. So I'm just going to put some quinoa, maybe, so I can start trying. Some people use millet. I've used millet too. But I'm going to start with quinoa, and then I'll have a foot toy or something similar to it so it can play around. Starting yesterday, it's now not in darkness anymore. It's going to poop maybe. It's not in darkness anymore. So before, I used to actually cover completely the bin. And they don't like the light a lot when they're very young. Just like a nest box, it's dark and it's secure. But now it should be comfortable where it can see daylight. I still keep it quite dark, so yeah, but it's not completely dark anymore. So it can start seeing me and getting used to me. And it's actually, have been working really well. But like I said, this is my setup. I'll probably do an update because probably people are like, hey, wait a minute, this is so boring. But Cookie sleeps a lot. Like 10 minutes in, Cookie's gonna sleep until the next feeding. She's not playing, she's not doing any of that. It's not because she's bored. Babies just sleep. So there's really no point in me adding something, but I do want to now start because weaning process I think should it should start right now. So I'm gonna start introducing new foods. I will have links down below because I know people are gonna still ask me for advice, and please check the description. Hopefully those links can help you guys out. But yes, this is the last time you guys will see Cookie on the daily videos, but I'm sure you guys are going to see a lot of updates on her on my Instagram and stuff, so you guys could check it there. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.